That was a big takeaway I had I went out to the Alex Hormozy conference, almost called it a concert with Chad in Las Vegas back in December. And we were talking about this topic. And the big takeaway that I had is that you need to become the A player that you're trying to attract. And a lot of that has to do with how you live your life and, what you got going on, how ambitious you are, but also, your personal brand and building up a strong personal brand. And that, that in that world, it's Instagram and influencing and whatever, which is one way to build a personal brand. But if you're on a local level, maybe you don't like the internet as much, you can build a personal brand in your community. You can volunteer, you can, get on the news, you can go to all the events, the networking. I mean, you build a reputation. They used to call it a reputation. Now it's a personal brand. But I thought that was really interesting because A players want to work for people that they perceive as A players.
For sure. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, that's human nature.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think
agree
a
with
lot
you.
of people struggle. Yeah, a lot of people struggle because they're just not, you hear about Andy Elliott, get a six pack or you're fired. But like, there's a little bit of truth to like staying in shape if you want to attract people that are high energy and also take care of themselves.
It's a display of discipline.
Yeah.
And that's really what it comes down to is if you're not willing to have the discipline to take care of your body, then you're not going to take care of your career either or your customers. And there's a lot to be said with that. I mean, I think he gets a lot of heat for that because it's extreme.
Yeah.
But
he was trying to, make it go viral
and mission accomplished. So my hat's off to him for that. And, the bad press is still press and, good for him for that. I do. And my biggest thing that I'm imploring with my staff now at all levels is just financial literacy, because I think it's something that I was fortunate enough to have a father who taught me how money works early on. And it's amazing to see how much that has helped me in business, especially at this level. It's the next thing to do. I mean, it's really the one of the most important things about being a business owner is to understand the financials and have accurate financials too, of course. So even just at the personal level, I'll ask you this question: do you have some sort of financial system in place for your personal finances?
Yeah.
Good. You should, but I think a lot of people don't. I didn't have it 3 years ago. I didn't. I mean, I was just looking at my bank account, and if my bank account was going in the right direction, everything was fine. But then when all of a sudden, that's not best practice, because you could still be hemorrhaging
KPIs,
money.
scorecards. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of ways you can set that up. There's the profit first method.
And for 50 bucks a year, I've got an app that links into all my bank accounts on the personal level, and everything's tracked, and I've got my spending under control. So going all my leadership, same thing. Like, here, it's 50 bucks a year. Pay for the app, log in all your banks, get everything in one spot, so you're actually managing your personal finances the correct way.
And I think that's important to transfer to your team if at all possible. We've talked about having like a Dave Ramsey coach come in and like sit down with our guys to give them the 6 baby steps, because if they're having trouble at home, they can barely make their rent. They start acting out of desperation. They ask for advances. They, can't afford to get to work, in the morning. A lot of things come out of that, and they make decisions out of desperation as opposed to out of abundance. And that transfers into, then now they start asking for tips because they need that $20 to buy a pack of cigarettes on their way home or whatever it is. And it's just not it's a good thing to try to find